Yo, what up, fam? Happy Thursday. Hope you guys doing well. About to get this thing started real quick. Boom.
Yo,
Yo.
how you doing, bro?
Blessed and grateful, brother. How you?
I'm doing good, doing good.
Amazing, bro.
Yes, sir. I was excited to do this one with you. I'll be saying you on here talking your stuff, so I want to go ahead and chop it up with you, bro.
Yes, sir. So what let the people know what do you do?
So right now, I'm just kind of in the financial space. I do a lot of investing. Right now, I'm also working in a financial field, which would, when it comes down to investing, I work at TD Ameritrade, helping people with their portfolios and things. But I also started off in the insurance space, and that's what really grown my just love for learning about finances and things.
Okay. How long you been doing that?
I started in the insurance space since I've been in the insurance space since my junior year in high school. So I was doing that for 3 years, and accrued my life insurance license through that time.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So you enjoy it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Is that what you do full time?
So right at the moment, so what I do full time is just working with investment groups and really doing helping people with their portfolios and things with TD Ameritrade. So
Okay.
what I really do right now is I would say look at the markets and helping people with their portfolios. But I sell life insurance on the side.
You might have to teach me how to do that.
What, life insurance?
No, the portfolios and stuff.
Portfolio? Yes, sir. I definitely.
Perfect. You got any questions for me?
I be seeing you. So what do you actually do fully? Like I know I see you that you tap into a lot of psychology and things, or like when it comes down to the spiritual space. I want to know kind of what do you do?
So full time, I'm in property management. So I deal with apartments,
Okay.
and then on the side, I'm a mindset wellness coach.
Okay. You said so you work with because I was actually looking into that as well. I want to venture off into just different investments when it comes down to real estate. So you do what do you property manage? What do you do with apartments? You said
So I'm not on the real estate side of it.
okay.
Yeah,
So you said
like I lease apartments.
a lease apart. Okay, so you okay. I was actually before I was applying for investment funds, I was actually looking into doing leasing, being a leasing consultant.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. That's where I started. That's
Where
where
are
I
you
started off
where
at.
you where you located at?
I'm in Laurel, Maryland.
Maryland? Okay,
Yeah. What
I'm
about
out
you?
here in Chicago.
Okay. Is that where you from?
Yeah, my family. Yeah, I'm from Chicago.
That. So yeah. So I've been in the fitness space, as you can see now. I've been disciplining my body now for almost 5 years.
Okay.
And this year, I decided that I was going to use the same practices, right? Same principles. And now I'm disciplining my mind
Hmm.
so that ultimately that I can create, the life that I want to live.
I've been so I kind of just been recently in that space ever since this year, just like just like just developing more spiritual side. I've always been connected to my spiritual side, but I feel like spirituality has a lot to do with how you operate as a person when it including your mind and everything that's such. But I feel like this earlier this year is like when I finally had a spiritual awakening. Like I've been exposed to my spirituality because I grew up in church, but that was different. I get connected to it really on a religious base side. So now I'm kind of just I think I took myself out of religion and just kind of implemented spirituality into my life, and now I'm reading on things how to actually like be in tune with your body and spirit, mind, and things like I'm reading a book right now called Frequency, like the personal it's called like frequency. It's just teaching you about your frequency and being connected to your personal vibration, or like the power of your personal vibration. Because
Mm.
like one thing that I'm learning, we're spiritual beings, which is vibrational. So we're operating on a different type of frequency. So, and what I'm learning about is like different frequency. You got high vibration and you got low vibration, and when you're not aware to things, that's really you operating in your lower vibration. And I'm just trying to be like just grow into that, like learning more about it and how I could be more in tune with it. So that's another thing I've been into with as well, bro. That's what got me into your page and watching you, bro. Because like just like-minded like people think alike, like iron sharpens iron. So I just pay attention to you from like once I seen that you connected on that level as well.
Absolutely. So tell us, what are some of the things that you're doing on a daily basis to maintain a high vibration?
Uh, Personal development. That's one thing I do. Also, like I learned by a lot, like just listening to a lot of videos. So I listen to a lot of motivational things. Les Brown, and also like one thing that I was doing where I felt like, cause I'm not gonna lie, I'm still human, bro. So I still fall out. I still fall out like when it comes down to being super disciplined, but now I'm getting back into that routine. But I realized what I was doing when I felt super connected to my spiritual side. I was meditating every morning. I have a devotional book that I was reading every morning. Sat down in a quiet space, allowing allowing my thoughts to slow down and me getting out of my mind sometimes, and actually allowing just being in a peaceful place, bro. Allowing like it's a power in stillness, bro. That's one thing I'm learning. Like it's a power in stillness, just sitting down and allowing your thoughts to slow down. So like that's one thing that I do in the morning. Like when it comes down to you said connecting. What was the question? Connecting spiritually, like or
The question was, what are you doing consistently to maintain a high vibration?
so that's one thing I would do. Like I'll pray in the morning, and also just go through a meditation of reading my devotional book, um, and listening to motivational speeches, like just by different people, learning other people's mind when it comes down to different things, because I'm still learning myself.
Perfect. That's good. You're doing a great job so far. So that's the morning. What are you doing in the afternoon?
Nothing, bro. Nothing at all.
Okay. What
that
about the evening?
so like that's I set out the mornings for that, but I do want to be like I'm when I'm reading my devotional book, I read across things where it says being more in tune with your vibration throughout the day though. Like so that's something that I'm working on. Like instead of like that's one thing that's on my mind early in the morning, but throughout the day I'm probably ain't there yet, bro. Probably I would say probably throughout the day is the gym for me. Like that's another play. Like that's another way that I just allow myself to get out of my mind.
Perfect. That's a good start. It took me a while to get into, having like an afternoon check-in. I call it a vibe check. And so I would set an alarm on my phone and be like, how are we feeling right now?
Yeah.
Because it's important to ask yourself, how am I feeling right now? There's
Mm,
things constantly going on throughout the day, so you want to make sure that you're tuning in to find out how you feel. And whenever I catch myself not in alignment, I go to gratitude immediately. I say,
mm,
what am I grateful for right now? So that I can shift away from those lower vibrational thoughts. Because I need to be tapped in.
that's a fact.
You know, we need to maintain a high vibration at all times, which is not easy to do. But over time, I've developed what I call like my mental toolkit.
Mm,
There are things that I resort to whenever I catch myself feeling off because I need to get back on it.
that's a fact.
And now I have an evening routine. The morning practice is great, but I also found that it's important to have an evening routine also.
What so because that's one thing I experienced that myself. Like sometimes like when you don't have a routine, like it's easy for you to fall out of whack, bro. Like and then once you allow that to happen, it's a spiral that just keep on going until you get out of it. Like until you actually intentionally put yourself into a space. But uh, Yeah, I need to create a routine, bro. I need to create a routine. Like, so one thing that I've been doing, like at night now, I would listen to, because I've been learning about like when it comes down to frequency, like different sounds, the hertz, levels to hertz and things. So I'll listen to like a meditation with a different hertz on it every night, depending on what I'm trying to feel like. If I'm trying to get rid of, if I'm trying to feel love, I forget which number it was, but it's a number that I'm just looking up. I'm probably just looking it up on YouTube, and I kind of go through a meditation part. Like that's what I've been doing for the last 2 nights. So I think that's probably gonna start being my nightly routines. But other than that, I probably don't have another routine like throughout the day.
That's a great thing you just said. I've been doing that every night also.
Mm,
Listening to different vibrations and stuff like that. I believe the love one is 538, 532 or 528.
okay, okay.
Yeah. But 432 is what they say we resonate with naturally. So 432, but yeah. That's a long conversation right there. But yeah, that's a really good start.
Yeah.
Meditation with the vibrations. I got vibrations on right now in the background.
Okay. But what I'm learning about, like, just like, because even in music, I didn't realize that it was actually those type of sounds that was in music, bro. I didn't realize that. And what I was listening to a video last night, and especially like I'm a true advocate behind like what you put in, you get out. Like, so like even when it comes down to music, like it's it's hurts that literally operates on your lower self, that bring like that messes up your vibration and your frequency, like when it comes down to music. Like that's why I kind of I'm cautious to the music that I listen to. I'm still young, so like the crowd, like some of the peers that I'm around, just be listening to a bunch of stuff. But it's like I try to be more conscious of what I'm putting into. Like even when I am hanging around and I hear things, I'll be like, man, that's not. I can't sit my spirit don't sit right with this type of music. Like I can't even like operate into that like momentum no more. Like once I start being aware to who I am as a person, a lot of the things that I was coming across now, I just didn't connect to anymore.
Yeah, I don't listen to as much music as I used to. I only do it after I fill myself up. Like after I do everything I need to do, then I can listen to it for like a little bit. And then I need to switch back to something that's actually going to fill my mind with things that I want to create.
That's a fact.
Because whatever we hear is what we're going to create.
Yes, sir. That's a fact. That's a fact. Like everything we put in, we definitely get out, and it's just reaping and sowing, bro. Like it's the laws of the universe. What you reap, you will, like whatever you sow, that's what you will reap. Like so, if you continuously put negative energy inside of yourself, literally you're imprinting your brain with this type of like whatever the negativity is, you're imprinting your brain with that. So your brain literally just put like or your system literally puts out whatever it takes in. Like if you're feeding yourself bad food, your body is gonna react to that because you're fueling yourself with. It's like if you fill your car with bad gas, eventually your car is probably gonna car's probably gonna break down. That's the same thing with our bodies, bro. Like we reap what we sow. It's just the law of reaping and sowing, man.
Absolutely. You dropping bars right now. How important do you feel, how important do you think working on ourselves is?
Working on ourselves is, I would say that's probably number one. Like working on ourselves is definitely important because like what they say when you're on a plane, like if the plane is crashing, you got to help yourself first. You got to put your air mask on before you try to even help somebody else. Like you can't help nobody when you haven't helped yourself. So working on yourself is very important. Like just building yourself up as a person and just growing, man. Because if you're not growing, you can't help nobody else grow.
Facts.
That's
You, how old are you?
I'm 21, bro. I'm
Wow.
21.
Yeah, you're on the right track, brother, for real. That's good. Make sure you keep your environment straight.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Who,
That's
who
like
we
that's
who we hang around also is very, very important.
you say that again. You was breaking up for a second.
Who we hang around is very, very important.
Yes, sir. That's a fact. That's a fact. Iron sharpens iron. Like if you hanging around different, just negative energy. They actually say if if you're on a different like if you're on a higher level, it's easier for the person that's below you to pull you down. But it's not the same way around. It actually takes a lot of hard work to pull somebody up than it does to pull somebody down. So that's a fact, bro. That's a
Preaching.
fact. They that's your people, yes sir.
You preaching. All
Hey
right,
man,
so let's see what else. What other questions you got for me, man?
uh, I would say like, so what are some things that you're working towards right now that's keeping you, or because I know like just what actually exposed you to this type of energy, what was your first reaction that made you like more aware to who you were as a being or as a person?
I had always been seeking to find out who I was.
Mm,
And, I've come to realize that we don't get all of what we're looking for at once.
that's a fact.
Get what we need as we need it. And so I got tired of living my life a certain way. It started with my health. I got tired of being overweight. I got tired of not having the confidence that I used to have. And I made a decision that I was no longer going to live my life like that. And so that was the first shift that I made. Made a decision to get my health in order, and then also surrounded myself with positive people. I had been searching for positive people for years. I would write it down in my journal. I think I started writing down in like 2016. I said, I am grateful now that I'm healthy, and I'm grateful for the positive people that I'm around.
Let's talk. How hard was that for you, bro? Like how actually like because just the things that you would like you said you were overweight, so I know you were really you were connected to some things. So how hard was that to really break away from or detach from?
It was very hard to do because I had been up and down in my weight for about 9 years.
Mm,
And I couldn't figure out why I kept gaining the same weight back, if not more, each time. And so it's very discouraging to go back to step one all over again.
that's a
Well, square
fact.
one. That's where I found myself year after year. And it was just something different about 2017. A lot of us are saying like, this is the year that I'm going to do X, Y, and Z, right? And that was me every year. This is the year I'm finally going to get in shape. And then I would do it, but then I would go back to where I was. I would go back to my unhealthy habits. And so when 2017 came, I said, you know what? I'm going to commit for the whole year. I never did that before. I said, I'm going to commit to the whole year. And then I got an accountability group. I feel that accountability is so important. It is like an insurance policy against failure because you now have people that are going to hold you accountable to what you said you was going to do.
That's a fact.
Versus us trying to do it by ourselves. There's nobody there to check in. When we don't feel like doing it, it's easy to just be like, you know what? I don't feel like doing it today.
That's a fact.
And so once I got my health in order, it was like, okay, well, what else can I improve? And I believe that the quality of our questions determines the quality of our lives. Our lives.
Yes, sir.
And so I eventually started seeking spiritual growth. I was always fascinated in it, but around that time, everything was heightened because I had just started to change the way that I saw myself physically. I started to see results I never saw before. Muscles were coming in that I never saw before. So now I'm getting confidence. And it's like, all right, well, what else can I change? And then it dawned on me that up until that point, everything that had happened in my life was my fault. I didn't want to accept it, but it was like, oh, wow, like I'm causing all of these things in my life. Everything, like even the things that are really not my fault, I have to take responsibility. And so I learned responsibility from that point. Started tapping into like my spiritual side. And then I got obsessed with just trying to figure it out. And I would read books, and I was, learning about energy healing and finding out about trapped emotions, about whatever we have within us that's trapped. And at the time, I had a lot of hurt, a lot of fear, a lot of stuff. I was I was so hurt for so long that I basically numbed myself.
Mm. That's what we all do, bro.
And it was just like, because think about it. Think about, not to take you there, but it's like when we experience things that are really hard for us, we will do whatever it takes to never revisit it again. And so that was me. I had a lot of things going on in my life that I never wanted to revisit. But what made me shift was that I realized that feeling is the secret, you know?
That's a fact.
So we need feeling, but yet I'm numb to all of mine.
Mm.
So if I don't make the shift, nothing in my life is going to change. And so because I was so afraid to feel what I had felt for so long, I thought that thinking positively was the answer.
Mm.
I mastered positive thinking at that time because like I said, I never wanted to feel how I felt again. And so it was like, well, I'm gonna just think positive. But I still felt like shit on the inside. And so as a result, my life is reflecting what I'm feeling.
Mm.
And so that was the shift for me. It was like, well, if feeling is a secret, I got to get in tune with my feelings. But it's not that easy because I had been numb for so long. It took me 2 years to feel.
Mm.
2 years. Like I did body scan meditations. I was looking up all the things on YouTube that you can possibly imagine. It took me 2 years.
That's crazy, bro. I so just when I started being aware to things that I was putting in my body, or like just the health of my body, I was actually going through some, like I was having problems with my digestive system, and I was going back and like and it started this is what I had to start getting out my head, because like it started bringing my body to a place of like I was breaking myself down. Like I was like literally in my head so much that I was breaking myself down. Like just thinking so many thoughts. Like I was going back and forth from the doctor. They couldn't tell me anything. But then like that's what really exposed me to like what I was talking about. Like just this me being more intertwined with my spiritual life. Like I thought I was dying, bro. Like I was literally saying telling myself that I was dying. Like, and I was literally like just coming. I was feeling depressed. Like my energy was down. Like because I thought I was really like going through something. And then like it was like I got to a point like, hey, look. To like tomorrow ain't promised to nobody, so it's like even if I am like if I have to even I had to accept that feeling of me feeling like I was dying, bro. I literally had to accept that feeling. Like what you was just talking about feelings, I had to accept that feeling like that I was thinking. I was like, maybe like if nobody could tell me nothing's wrong with me, maybe I am. But how am I gonna change this? Like what am I gonna do to start changing? So I started getting in the gym more. I started just like moving around instead of my body just being depressed. I started moving around and started just being more in tune with my body and how I was actually feeling. Like anytime I found myself just sloping around, I was like, nah, bro, you need to move. Like, and I literally accepted that feeling. Uh, but that's what you was talking about right there. That like just to kind of agree with you on that. Like, it's all about like accepting the feeling that you're going through. Like, you have to be real with yourself. Like, you literally have to be real with yourself. Keep it real and be like, all right, cool. Like, this is what it is now. So what do I need to do to move forward?
That's key right there. For so long, I thought that time heals all wounds.
Mm.
If you just let it sit, you'll be all right. And I found out that the longer you wait, when it's time to revisit those feelings, they're all there waiting for you.
Yep.
And so it's like I can either just stay where I'm at, which would be ignorant because I'm now aware. Ignorance just means, not knowing. But when
Yep.
you know, why wouldn't you take those actions?
Yep.
A lot of us are aware of what we need to do, but we don't do it.
That's
We
a
think
fact.
that allowing time to pass is the answer, and it's not. A lot of us are waiting until January 1st to make changes when you can start right now.
Bro, tomorrow's not promised to nobody, bro. Tomorrow is not promised. Like tomorrow. First of all, tomorrow don't. That's what I was just posting about earlier. Tomorrow does not exist, bro. Like we think tomorrow does not exist, bro. Like we haven't even seen tomorrow yet. The only thing that we experienced was yesterday and today. We have not seen tomorrow yet. So how does tomorrow exist?
You're preaching.
How does tomorrow does not exist for nobody just yet? Like until we get there, until we get to today, tomorrow does not exist. Like that's just something in the future that we experience so many tomorrows that we just assume that we got tomorrow. But bro, tomorrow does not tomorrow is not promised for no. Like we don't know anything that I'm just speaking facts. Like bro, we all have to experience death one time. Like we all have to experience that. Like nobody that's living today is probably not going to experience death. We're never not going to experience death. Like if you're accepting life, you have to accept the opposite end of that as well, which is death. So tomorrow is not promised to nobody. You only have today. You can only get started today. Like you can start changing your mind from today. But like one things that we all desire to do is starting to change our reality. But they said I was reading something in a book in the book I was just telling you about. It was saying like once your image of yourself starts to change, that's when your reality starts to change. So you have to start today by changing your ideas of who you are today. Like you have to start by doing that today.
Self-image.
That's a fact.
So, funny enough, that's what I realized I needed to shift when it came to my body.
Self-image.
Yeah, because, think about it. I had an image of myself that was 255 pounds. So when I got down to 200, let's say 200, the image is still 255. And so when I'm looking in the mirror, I see 200, but the self-image is still 255, which means that no matter how hard I work, I'm going to go back to the habits, the thoughts, and the feelings that represent the 255.
Wait, so you saying you got down to 200, but you were still feeling like you was 245, like you was still 255.
Absolutely. And we can never outperform our self-image.
That's a fact.
That's why a lot of people who go on a weight loss journey, right, or a weight gain journey, they get results. They don't change the image of themselves. They're going to gain all that weight back. And that's what I did for years. And I couldn't figure out why do I keep gaining all this weight back? It's because I didn't change the image. Now that I've changed the image, it's so funny. Like I can do the reverse now. Let's say I decide not to be disciplined and gain weight. My image of myself has shifted. So now I'm automatically going to tap back in to the discipline that I have now.
Facts.
Because I changed the image.
That's a fact. So that's the question. How can that be? Like how can you drop down to 200 but still see yourself to being 255?
Well, the 255 version is not the version of myself that I look in the mirror. We have two images. So you have the image of you, and if you look in the mirror right now, you have an image of you. But then there's also an image of you that you can't see. That's running your life. That's running your life.
You said it's an image of me that I can't see. Explain that.
It's an inner image. It's how you feel on a subconscious level.
Okay.
Why do you think people they have these New Year resolutions and they don't last. They get going for a few weeks and then after that, it's a wrap.
That's a fact.
And we can never outperform our self-image. So it'll seem like you hear it all the time. People like, man, I've been trying so hard to do X, Y, and Z, and nothing seems to work. It's because you're working with the wrong part of your mind.
Mm. That's a
You
fact.
have to literally rewrite your story.
That's
You
crazy.
got to write out how you feel right now, what you look like right now, and then you have to create this new image of yourself. Think of it like a movie script. You basically have to write out your script, how you want to look, feel, whatever, and you have to keep replaying this story over and over and over again until your subconscious mind accepts it as true.
Okay, so that makes so all right, so that makes a lot more sense because what I've been like reading it or hearing is like the things that you want, you have to put yourself in a space where you already feel like you have it, and then that's when you're gonna start receiving it because like you're literally putting yourself right there in that feeling, like you're making yourself feel as say if I want to be successful, like if I have a goal in my mind to be successful, I have to put myself in a state where I'm already feeling successful. Then success is gonna start coming now because it's like you're manifesting that so much. You're starting to realize that's about you. You're putting yourself in that feeling so much that you're getting addicted to that, or you love feeling like that. So you're always gonna put yourself right there, and then it's just gonna start manifesting because it's like your confidence, bro. Like I feel like that's the main thing. Once you gain confidence in who you are, bro. Like nobody can literally take that away because it's like you're gonna start speaking like that. And it says what a man like what a man think of, so is he. Like whatever you start thinking in your mind on a day-to-day basis, it start manifesting in your life because not only are you thinking that your thoughts become words and then your words become things. Like once you start thinking in a certain way, bro, you start speaking that, and you just speaking. That's just you building, having the confidence to even say it. They say if you could see it in your mind and then have the faith to speak it, bro, it's gonna come to pass. Like because it's like I'm telling you what I'm gonna do. That's why Michael Jordan was so like even on a basketball court, like he literally told his opponent what he was gonna do before he even did it. And people looked at him, they called him Black Jesus back in the day because he was literally spoke these words and started feeling like he started doing what he said he was gonna start doing, bro. And like that's literally how we have to be in our lives. Like we have to start putting ourselves in that feeling already as if we already have it, and then start speaking like it, bro. You might not even I say this all the time, like, bro, this might not even be my lifestyle right now, but as long as I can continue believing this about myself, I'm gonna have the confidence to speak it. It has no other choice but to manifest in my life.
It's already done, bro.
It's already done.
You know, the cool thing about it, right, is like our minds doesn't know what's real or imagined.
mm,
You know, and so I've learned that we don't get what we want, we get what we pay attention to.
that's a fact.
So one person can be like, I want abundance,
Hmm.
but you're paying attention to poverty. You're paying attention to lack.
Mm,
You know, you're letting what you see control your mind. And so it's not just the thinking. I've learned that it's a combination of what we think, feel, and how we act.
that's a fact.
Most people are just looking at their current situation, and that's controlling their thoughts, which is
Yep.
controlling their feelings.
Yep.
It's going to make them act the same way. And that's what's going to keep them looped in a cycle.
Hmm.
Year after year, they're living the same life over and over and over again.
That's a fact.
You know? And so, you know, most people don't think. Most people are not thinking.
Nope. People just act off of instincts, and they're not even used to like operating on a higher level. So their instincts is already operating on a lower vibration. So it's like whatever they're doing is gonna keep on going. Like until something happens where it interrupts their mind and they start putting themselves thinking more higher thoughts or a higher vibration or anything like that. That's when it start like showing up in your life. Like you literally have to disrupt them or dismantle the belief system that you already have. Like a lot of the things that we actually go through, they was just saying like a lot of the I was reading the book, like a lot of the things that we actually go through is the things that goes on in our head. And most of the times we already having the same thoughts over and over again. Like our thoughts, bro, it's we're having the same thoughts every day, the same ones every day. You literally have to interrupt those thought processes and start thinking different, bro. Like you have to literally surround yourself around different information. Like you have to, and that has to be an intentional thing, because that's what I was like when we were talking about that we are gonna talk about finances. That's one thing that that I want to start to like touch on, like finances. That plays a big part of like why, like just why the black community is the way it is, bro. But that it's not just finances, because you could give us finances, but if we don't change our minds, we not gonna keep it. Like that's why they have, when they talk about reparations and things of that such. Like I made it was fun. I was just joking around, but it's like I pray that even if we do get reparations, I pray we don't spend that on Gucci. Like I pray we don't do that, bro. Like no, for real though. Like I pray we don't spend that on Gucci, because it's like the things that you're gonna do. Like we say, we like I had a pastor that said like one time, like one day, I can't wait to get rich so I could buy the homeless 500 coats. And then he was like, the pastor came to him and said, he was like, bro, all you got to do is start off with buying one coat. Like you're just gonna do the same thing that you're used to doing right now. Like you can't get rich and say that you're gonna buy 500 coats, because you're not there yet. All you have to do is start with buying one homeless person a coat right now. That's how you know what you're gonna do once you start getting this money, or that's how you know what you're gonna do when you have a different opportunity. You have to literally start doing that stuff right now. Like I could speak it, I could say these things. I hope that I get there, but it's like I have to start doing these things right now. Like that's why I'm so into, when it comes down to investing. Like I'm not rich right now, but I'm investing for my future. So in the future, I can become that. Like I'm opening up doors for my future right now. Not tomorrow though. I'm opening up doors for the future right now. Like Malcolm X said, education is the passport to the future. For today, for tomorrow is only given to those who prepare for it today. That I find that to be true every day, bro.
Very good, very good. So you mentioned something about beliefs. Do you know how to change your beliefs?
Do I do I my the easiest answer I could give right now is probably just like being open into learning new things. What would you say? How would you change your belief system?
I've learned this from my mentor. He says that when we reevaluate our beliefs, typically that when we reevaluate something, our beliefs about it can change.
Mm.
So to give you an example of that, it's like, let's say a person right now believes that they can't be successful, right? And so I would ask this person, like, okay, well, when did you learn? Who did you buy that belief from? Who taught you that you couldn't be successful? And then it's like when we reevaluate that idea, what is that idea based on? Is that based on truth? Is it true that you can't really be successful? Or is this just a story that you bought from maybe a family member, right? Because a lot of this conditioning starts when we're born up until about age 7, they say. And so me, I'm 30, right? And so things that were appropriate for me to believe when I was 7 is no longer appropriate for me to believe at 30.
Thanks.
And so I would have to reevaluate literally everything that I learned up until that point.
Yeah.
No offense to, family and whoever else that was around, but it's like now I get to think for myself.
Yep.
Because when we think about it, whoever raised us, they got their ideas from someone else. They got ideas from someone else.
That's a fact.
And see, me, I'm coming in, I'm changing the game for my whole family. So I got to think differently than every single one of them.
Yep.
And so I started just reevaluating everything this year.
That's a fact,
And,
bro.
and about 90% of it is bullshit. if I'm just keeping it 100. 90% of it is not true.
Mm.
It's not true.
So what are some things that you've learned that you felt like you had to unlearn?
Yo, some things that I learned that I had to unlearn. Jeez. Um, I had to unlearn that there's no security in a job,
Mm.
and that true security comes from within.
That's a fact. What
Let's see what else. What else I had
secure
to learn?
security just when it comes down to in a job like a job can't make you feel secure, like just financially or just in what ways?
In general, there's no security. I mean, think about everything that happened. Well, that's still happening, right? From a year ago, people lost their jobs.
A fact.
A lot of people put their all into this job and left away with nothing. There's no security.
Yep. That's a
I've
fact.
learned that security comes from within. So again, when you're confident in who you are, like I'm not here to bash jobs. I still work a job myself, but I'm not built for that lifestyle long term.
That's a fact.
You know, I've made a decision that I'm going to go after my freedom,
Yep.
right? Being able to do what I want when I want, that's important to me,
That's a fact.
you know? Let's see what else I had to learn. I mean, it's just so many things I had to unlearn. Taking responsibility, you know, not blaming another person, place, or thing for anything that happened in my life. I grew up witnessing a lot of that stuff, blaming. You know, I feel this way because of what this person did to me. Had to unlearn that. Because the reality is that nobody can put something into my subconscious mind, only I can. If
That's
I
a
feel some type of way about something, it's because I let that idea marinate over and over and over again. Let's say somebody told you something that you don't like, but you keep repeating it to yourself. That's your responsibility now. Nobody else could do that.
That's a fact.
You know, this whole journey has just been unlearning the past few years. But this year I took a deep dive. I got a mentor. And that helped me get to where I'm at right now.
That's important.
Otherwise, I would have been in the loop just trying to figure it out on my own. Because I've read a lot of books over the years. And I got new information. But as I'm sure you know, information is cool, but it's about what you apply.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And see, there's this thing, it's called a knowing doing gap. People know a lot of information, but they're not doing what they know how to do.
So you say that one more time.
People know a lot of information, but they're not doing what they know how to do.
Mm, that's a fact.
And they don't know why they're not doing it. We all know how to get in shape, right?
Hit the gym.
Eat better, a little bit of exercise, right? Sleep, right? Water. Everybody don't do it,
That's a fact.
right?
That's a
Why
fact.
is that?
The discipline ain't there. Like they can't be disciplined. Like, well, I would say discipline. Like a lot of people aren't, like, the reasons why we not don't do a lot of the things that we want to do is just because we're not disciplined in that area.
I think it comes down to just not being aware.
Mm.
You can't,
Aware of what?
you can't discipline something you're not aware of, nor fix. Like, so to give you an example, right? There are people, let's say you're on a diet. You know exactly what you need to do. But every time you see a dessert, you pick up the dessert and you know that eating this is not going to get you what you want. but you do it anyway. I don't think that's discipline.
Mm.
I think that's programming. And this person is not aware that they're programmed to pick up the cake every time.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
We all know how to do something better than what we're currently doing right now, but that does not mean we're going to do it. And the new year is coming up, so this is a perfect time
For these new year resolutions. That's
right. And most of them don't last, and that was for me too. I wasn't aware. I had to learn why is it that my mind tries to pull me back every time I take a few steps forward. And it's because it wants to keep me in this familiar spot.
That's a
even
fact.
when it sucks. but that is now my comfort zone.
I was gonna your mind like your mind and body loves to be comfortable. That's what it likes to do.
So it takes strong conscious control to be able to go against what I'm already programmed to do. You know?
Yes, sir.
And so I believe that a huge factor in changing some of these things is having a morning routine. However we start the day is typically how the day is going to go.
That's a fact.
You know?
That's a fact. Most people get up like I know most people do it just because this is something that I started like I was doing at one point. Like first thing that people do once they wake up and grab their cell phone, probably getting on social media and like literally implementing all the information that's on the media before you really get in tune with yourself.
Most people are too busy checking in on what everybody else is doing before they're giving thanks, before they're, like you said, tuning in with themselves. I used to do it too. This is
Shoot,
not
I
to talk
still do
down
it
on
sometimes.
anybody. This is about bringing awareness.
Yep.
So, now I have a very strict morning routine that I dedicate to myself so that I can fill me up. Like you said, on the airplane, we got to put our mask on first. That's me putting my mask on first in the morning. And so when I come out of my morning routine, now I'm good. Now I'm ready to deal with whatever that I need to deal with.
That's a fact.
Because of what I planted in my mind, I'm prepared to deal with it now.
That's a fact.
Versus being on autopilot and not having structure in my morning, now I'm reacting to literally everything going on in my life. If I'm in traffic, I'm pissed off and I'm yelling at people that can't even hear me. I used to do that. And I think it's the silliest thing in the world to go off on somebody that can't even hear you.
That's a fact.
And you're wasting your energy. It's silly. I used to do it, but people still do it.
Yeah.
And I feel like if those same people would take the time for themselves in the morning to really set themselves up, things like that will begin to reduce.
That's a fact.
Now I'm big on protecting my energy.
Man.
Because we know energy is everything, right?
Yep.
A lot of people will agree that energy is everything, but based on that, they're not necessarily doing what they already know about protecting their energy. They're waking up and checking their text messages and checking Instagram or whatever, and now their whole day is messed up and they don't even know why.
Yep. That's a fact. That's a fact.
So yeah.
So when it comes down to protecting energy, what are some ways that you utilize to protect your energy? Because that is important. Like because if we don't protect it, it's we could get drugged in different places that where we just don't want to go. So like, what are some ways that you stay grounded by protecting your energy throughout the day?
Well, one, like I said, I gotta fill myself up, and that's through gratitude, that's working out, journaling, that's showing love to people, right?
Yep.
Giving is receiving. So I make sure that I find a way to give to people somehow, right? Show love things like that. But how I protect my energy is I'm just mindful. I'm mindful of, I anticipate that people are going to try to pull on to my energy. Because when you vibrate at a certain level, people want to get close to that energy.
Bro, that's a fact.
You know? And so for me, it's like, all right, well, how much time am I willing to be in an environment where this person is pulling on my energy?
That's a
You
discipline
know?
right there, bro. That's little like that's a hard discipline right there because like when you do get into that space of how people literally attach on, bro, and it's hard to kind of like if you're not already disciplined in that area, it's hard to kind of cut that off. Like if you because like I'm not gonna lie, like that started happening to me, and I feel like we kind of all like attention to a certain extent. So once people start giving you that, it's kind of hard to cut off. So like, well, so what are some ways that you kind of do that? Like how are you able to detach from people?
I meditate a lot, bro. And like I said, because I anticipated, there's a difference between me holding space for somebody that, is having a tough time, and I have to be there for this person, right? And it's a difference when a person is just always negative, always complaining, and they just want to like emotionally dump on you, right? And I feel like it comes down to having boundaries. You have to have boundaries.
That's a fact.
you know? And so for me, it's like anytime I notice that a certain person is having like a recurring problem, it's like, okay, I always ask, are you open to feedback? Are you looking for a solution, or do you just want to vent?
That's a
If
fact.
you just want to vent, I can hold that space for you. Okay. If you're not looking for a solution, what are we doing?
Mm.
And it's like, when it comes to my energy, oh man, I'm very sensitive to energy too. So it's like I have to be very mindful.
That's a fact.
You
I feel energy at like literally
know?
every room I step into.
Because it's like, if I don't, then I'm going to leave this conversation feeling kind of drained. I'm going to be absorbing everything that this person is trying to dump on me.
Yep.
And it's like, nah, I can't afford to do that.
Hmm.
So I have to know going in what to expect, from conversations. Like I said, I know that I'm here for a reason, right? My purpose is to impact people through their health, their mindset, right? In any way that I can. So it's going to come with it. That's going to come with it.
Yep.
But like I said, there's a difference between somebody that's just always complaining with no solution and people that just want to vent. I can hold for venting, but I don't tolerate people that always have problems with no solutions.
That's a fact.
Because that's a victim mentality. And I used to be a victim, and I know that being a victim does nothing for your life.
All you gonna do is stay there, bro. You would just stay in the victim state.
Yeah, so as far as detaching, it's just not personal, it's vibrational.
Mm.
It's not personal.
Totally
It's not personal.
That's a fact.
It's vibration over everything.
That's a fact.
I can be talking to a family member. I love my family to death. But it's like after a while, it's like, okay, what are we doing here?
Learning how to, bro, like that's sometimes like ever since I started kind of getting in this space, I love now just being to myself. I ain't gonna lie, like just being to myself. That's like the favorite space to be in, just because I don't have to worry about too many energies. Like I don't, and I try not to step. Like I just know me being like strict, like strongly connected to my spiritual side now. I don't connect to a lot of things, so I don't want to step on no toes because it's not like it's not personal, but it's just like the new, like it's me coming to a new version of me now, and I'm learning how to cope with that by still putting myself into different like different rooms and things, and I'm trying to literally learn how to work together with somebody with this new version of myself, bro. Like it's different, bro. It's different, and it's a learning process as well. Like I'm learning each and every time, like just how do I supposed to come about like this situation or this situation, like as this new version of me now. Like at first I could be anywhere, but now I just don't fit in everywhere no more.
Bro, you preaching. Yeah, I was just talking about that. I feel like I'm going through an energetic shift right now. Well, not I feel, I know that I am. And so while I'm adjusting to this new vibration, I can't just be around anybody.
That's a
Like
fact.
it's literally levels to the access. Last week's access is not today's access. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm serious because it is so important that the people who are around us are in vibrational alignment. Absolutely.
No,
Sometimes family that can bring negative energy, sometimes you have to separate from them. Absolutely. Love them. I love everyone. But that doesn't mean you can be close to me.
that's a fact. That's a fact. But you'll realize that this is what I learned with finances. Like it's a it's for you to actually be bringing in things, you have to, or for a successful business, for a business to be successful, bro, the business have to have more assets than liabilities. Assets is everything that brings money into, or whatever it is. It's everything that adds to you. You have to have, for you to be profitable or a business to be profitable, you have to have more assets than liabilities. Assets is just things that add to you, and liabilities is everything that take from you. So that's everything in your life. If everybody around you is in it, because there's only two type of people in this life: energy, somebody who's gonna add to you, or energy drainers. That's it. So if you have more energy drainers in your life than you do people adding to you, then you're always gonna be drained. And that's like, and that's how you. That's why you have to learn how to detach yourself from people. It's hard. It's a hard task to do, or learn hard learning process, but it's just something that you have to do, or you will always find yourself down. Like people don't care what they doing to you. I don't even think people are really aware to what they're doing to you. And you have to, that's not for them to know though. That's for you to know. And that's for you to really step back from it, like put up those boundaries like you were saying.
Yo, man, you dropping bars. I knew you was gonna come through with some bars. You know, the biggest thing for me though, right? Because like you said, people are not really aware. They might not be aware of what they're doing. And that's why the people, us that we know better, we got to have compassion for these people.
Mm.
You know, compassion. You got to have compassion for yourself, right? Because you can only give to another person what you're giving yourself. But it's like, just have compassion.
That's a fact.
I didn't wake up overnight like this. And so I don't judge people. I don't judge myself, and I don't judge people. But when it comes to protecting my energy, like that's a non-negotiable thing for me.
That's a
And
fact.
so it's just having discernment, you
Yep.
know, really tuning in, like, all right, this person really needs help. Let me do what I need to do. And then after that, I clear my energy. I'm good. I'm back to doing what I need to do.
That's a fact.
So it's just knowing the difference between energy drainers and people that genuinely need your help.
Yep. That's a fact. Real quick, bro, let me go grab my I'm finna go grab my charger. I'm finna be right back.
All right, it's about to end in like a minute, so we can hop back on.
All right, bet. All right.
Well,
Say, yeah, definitely say this video, bro. This the one.
all right, I'm gonna save it.
All right.